That order was in the Dallas Fort Worth market for tomorrow, $5,000 subtotal of food. The payout, $75. That's insanity. And that's what I thought, and that's what he wrote. I was chatting with my friend Rob today, a little bit. Hawaiian food too. Probably heavy as chit, like barbecue. When I pick up from a place like Famous Dave's, it's very heavy food. They have, mac and cheese, the mashed potatoes, the pulled beef and the pork. That's all heavy. And they're getting trays of that. Oh, it's delicious, but it's heavy. There are some places food is a lot heavier than others. Then he wrote some other stuff to me, but this starts off with, nothing surprises me anymore with catering. That's how bad it's gotten. He's right. And he even closed down a Facebook page he created that people were active in it all the time, and he shut it down. He just, like he writes, nothing surprises him anymore with catering. That's how bad it's gotten. That's a lot of people. A lot of people waiting for orders. This Mickey D is packed. It's like 10:15 on a Saturday night. It's packed. The cars are around the block. There's a line on Montauk Avenue. And look at all these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people waiting. Let's make that 8. 8 people. I haven't done this in a long time. This was Saturday night, and this is an outdoor window at a Mickey D's in Wantar. With the McDonald's in Freeport, I noticed this last week. They don't give us an order number. When I get here, I must wait at a new window inside. They have a special window away from the counter, and it's telling me to request order number for pickup. So the woman greeted me, and I told her I need a number. She was like, okay, just give me one moment. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. That's how they're doing it now. The store requires order number verification. It's on the receipt on the bag. And what they do is, and this is Taco Bell now. That wasn't the case before. And Mickey D's in my market. They show the first 3 numbers. Then they want you to input the last 2 numbers. That's how it's working in my market now. And then this screen will pop up. And Taco Bell and Mickey D's, most of them, have a foyer. You walk into the door, and there's a window when the restaurant is closed that you can't get into the tables, walk up near the counter, use the bathroom. They're locked up. But this is how they're doing it now. And I stayed out late Saturday night, and this is how it's being done. There has been a shift, a change. There is no question that this is my farewell summer to working food delivery late in the heart of summer so I can earn a little bit of money. I don't know about the shopping and delivering farewell, but gigging late at night, adjusting my schedule so I can drive less miles, use less time to work more prime time. Some is tough, and it's been slow. I left the house about 4:30. It was a little too early because it's the heart of July. However, then I hung in there. I kicked it off with a Grubhub, and I completed, and I'm going to discuss this, Shipt. I completed four targets, 2 individuals, and then I completed a batch with 2 shops. And the last drop off, the man was really nice, and I've delivered to his house before, and he talked to me, and I was like, oh, I know this house. And I brought up the 3 bags, and he was like, thank you so much. Never used this before. Do you get tipped on the app? I told him I work Shipt. I said I don't work for Target. And he was like, well, I ordered it through Target Circle. He kept saying Circle. And I said, I don't know. Well, you know what? We're both going to find out. I don't know what to tell you. So I said, thank you. And he was like, man, if you give me a few moments. I said, it's okay. What are you going to do? I accepted it. That's why I say don't count on tips when you're shopping and delivering. Either you want to complete it or you don't. Wait for the right price. Even though it's always a compliment and it's always helpful if you get a tip. So I drive away, and 5 minutes later the notification comes up showing me that I received a 7 and change tip. So I pulled over to see if it was that last delivery, and it was. So Circle customers that place orders through the Target app can tip afterwards. And he even said that maybe I can do it afterwards because he likes me. I mean, he was like, oh, hi, how you doing? I've done this. Some people just use all the apps, and after a while, I'll talk about that in a moment. And I was like, I was talking to him a little bit. I really don't know. But he helped me learn the process, how it works. He did tip after the fact. And I belong to a few Facebook groups. And a couple of times a week I browse and see what's going on. I rarely read my notifications in the app, but I pay attention to what's going on in the groups. Because it's people like us. People in the field working the apps, they know what's going on. And that's been a talk. People aren't tipping on Circle when they order through Target and Circle. There's no way to give a tip, and that's been a conversation. I'm like, I guess I've been lucky. I guess different areas. This guy at least confirmed. It's so weird how I was reading a few conversations online just this week. And again, it is summer and everything's more slow. And he helped me understand how it works, and that, yes, customers who shop through the Target app, Circle, because he kept saying Circle. I don't have a Shipt account. I have a Circle account. I have a Target account. And I was like, I don't know. You can after the fact. You can tip after the fact. I guess the Target app or the Target website, he kept saying Circle, they can tip afterwards. That's good to know. Now, my farewell. I believe this is my farewell summer. It's 1:24 in the morning. I haven't done this since last summer. I haven't delivered after 11 o'clock in a very long time. So when I got into town, I was lucky enough to use the bathroom at 5 to 11. And I used it at Burger King. The doors are open until 12 in Freeport. I believe it's 12 o'clock. That you can at least use the bathroom. See, that's a problem when you work overnight because places don't allow you in anymore. What are you going to do if you can't go to the bathroom? So I said, I'll hang in there. I'll hang in there until I'm ready to go home. And they were very, very local. Freeport pickup, Freeport drop off, for the last hour and a half, I'm just driving around Freeport. I haven't done this in a really long time. It's so peaceful. It's so quiet. There's no traffic. And I'll tell you, with the way you're picking up food, everything changes so quickly. They now have, when you walk in the door, they have a window at the second door. Walking into the restaurant, that you can't walk in the restaurant, there's a window. So you're out of the weather element, which is good. And it was cool. Drivers don't have to wait on those long lines. I did that last year, and I was like, well, it's not worth. I remember saying in the videos, it's not worth working after 11 o'clock because you have to wait on those long lines to get your food if you're delivering fast food. Say until 1 or 2 o'clock. I mean, on a weekend between 10 and 2 a.m., 10 p.m. to 2 p.m., 2 a.m., it's busy. that rids a lot of problems. The drivers are not waiting online. The workers, I'm sure they lose less money, because I walked up and they were right on their game. Then I went to the Taco Bell in Freeport, and I went on the drive-through, and they said, we're sorry, but you have to come inside. You don't come inside, but you'll see the window. I haven't done this. I haven't, like I said, worked late night in a really long time. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So when I drove up, I went behind the couple of cars. They were just parking right in front of the door. You can't get into the restaurant, but you can get into the front door. Then there's a window. Again, you're out of the weather elements. At least you're in an enclosed area. And the guy walked up, and I said, things change so fast. 4 $2 tips in a row from Uber. They all gave me $2. And he was like, yeah, everything changes so quickly. But that solves a problem. I remember discussing that last year. Who wants to wait online? The long line with your car running and waiting, and you're interfering with customers that are willing to wait online. And this was so much more seamless and more efficient, and everything was faster. If you worked overnight and worked it, you have a place to at least use the bathroom once or twice. That's a concern for a woman anyway. For me, no traffic. It's very quiet and peaceful. And these places are open 24/7. Business all night long. Crazy. It has really changed. It is a busy day at Walmart. I actually picked one up a little while ago, and I only waited maybe 10 minutes. Then I said, oh, I'll take another one. They sent another one out. Just pick up and deliver. Curbside pickup. The second time I came here, they're slammed. They have a lot of spots here. Now, a car just pulled away that was here before I got here. Now, I'm not sure if they were a customer or not. So that's the thing. I'm not sure if some of these cars are, is it a customer or is it Spark? This guy, you get to know people. His name is Mike. He's in full speed today. I mean, this man is on his game today. And he is back and forth multitasking, walking all the way down there, lugging stuff out. I mean, this guy he's just Speedy Gonzalez today. I just witnessed this guy pulled up next to me about 5 minutes after I pulled up, and he's questioning him. And now I know he's a Spark. Then he's talking to the other guy next to him that's parked over there, and they stop him in his tracks, and they're like, what's going on? I can hear him. He was like, listen, he shows him the device. This is the way it is. I mean, I have a perfect view at this spot that I see the people in the back there. Nobody's sitting around doing nothing. They're all moving really fast today. Sometimes you do have to wait. I chose to. I pulled up. I was a minute early. I went and used the bathroom. I grabbed a few things. I came back to my car. I just had lunch. I ate some yogurt. Now he's coming back. Let me see if I don't want to hold him up. This guy is full speed ahead. He's multitasking with people flagging him down. What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? I'm on my way to the drop-off. The guy, Mike, the Walmart worker, comes up to my car, and we chit-chat for 30 seconds while I'm putting the bags in the trunk. Sometimes he does it too. But he was actually talking to me while I grabbed the 4 bags, and he answered my question. He was like, Michelle, nobody wants to shop anymore. We keep getting more busy. We don't have enough help here. We want these shoppers shop and then, get it to the pickup spot. Last summer, they upgraded that parking lot. And I remember I added that to a video, and I believe they have 20 spots. So he said half these people, he was like, we can't keep up with demand. He said, nobody wants to shop anymore. Everybody's shopping online, and they come and pick it up, Michelle.